Life Unscripted with authentic conversation. Good afternoon. This is Coach Charles Smith. Life Unscripted with authentic conversation. We're excited today to have the lovely Miss Stephanie Thompson, the senior HR business partner from International Paper. Stephanie, how you doing?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. So good to see you.
Good to see
you.
you
Look
too.
lovely today.
Thank you. I tried.
Good to see you. Listen, I want to thank you for, I know it's on the weekend, you're a very busy person. You chose to come be here with us this morning to take this show, and I'm just grateful and thankful for your presence. I just think your career and the things you're doing, even here in Rome, is very important for our people to learn about.
Well, I appreciate that. It's an honor to even be considered. So
yes,
thank you for having me.
Thank you. But before we really get started here, I'm going to read Ms. Thompson's resume. She has a great resume here. Stephanie Thompson is a seasoned human resource professional with more than 15 years of experience supporting business operation, developing talent, and partnering with leaders to create high-performing workplace cultures. Currently serving as a senior human resource business partner with International Paper, she is recognized for her strategic approach to employee relations, leadership development, workforce planning, labor relations, and organization effectiveness. Since 2022, Stephanie has lived in Rome, Georgia, where she continued to develop her career while remaining deeply invested in her community in her role as senior HR business partner. She served as a trusted advisor to plant leadership, helping align people strategies with business goals while driving employment engagement, talent development, and workforce success. Her community leadership and board service, Stephanie is passionate about giving back to the community she serves, is an active leader within several organizations dedicated to improving the lives of children, families, and future generations. Her commitment to service extends beyond her professional responsibilities and reflects her belief in creating opportunities for others to succeed. She currently serves on and supports several important boards and advisory groups. St. Jude Parenting Advisory Committee, a Teen Choice Board, and Rome College and Career Academy Board and Advisory Council. Her education is Stephanie earned a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration with a concentration in human resources from Southern New Hampshire University and also attended Rhode Island College. She further enhanced her professional expertise through certifications, including White Belt Certification, DDI Certified Facilitator, and Situational Leadership Facilitator certifications. Known for integrity and personal savvy, organizational agility, and collaborative leadership style, Stephanie is passionate about helping individuals and organizations reach their full potential. Her journey from being raised by military parents to living in Alabama and Memphis and now learning life in Rome, Georgia, has shaped a leader who values resilience, service, lifelong learning, meaningful relationships, whether supporting business leader, mentoring employees, serving her community, or investing in her family. Stephanie remains committed to making a positive and lasting impact. Woo, Stephanie. I tell you what, a lot of people say, it's not good to have a long resume. I disagree with that because especially with our leaders, I think it's important they understand the commitment that you have made in your life to be really good at what you're doing. And I appreciate that, and I'm just so impressed with the things you've done.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It's been great. Let's get into this, Stephanie. I know I've been knowing you for a while. I know you knew a friend of mine that just recently retired from Inland Container.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned to me about him. He's a great friend of mine, great guy that I've been knowing all my life. And I know he was a pleasure to work with.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. So you grew up in Alabama.
Yeah. So I'm a military baby.
Okay.
I was born in Germany. So my mom, my dad, and my stepdad were all in the Army. But I was born in Germany, about 2.5, 3 years old. We moved to Alabama. Tiny town, Weaver, Alabama. I don't know if you know where it is.
I have no idea.
If you blink, you'll miss it. So it's a small town. It was right next to the military base, Fort McClellan. When it was there, Fort McClellan has since closed. It's shut down as an actual military base. But between Jacksonville and Anniston is where it's located. There was one stoplight. And when that stoplight went out, it became a 4-way stop. So they did not replace the stoplight. Very small town, maybe a population of 2,000 people total. Wow. Small town living though. It was easy living, safe. We were able to leave our doors unlocked at night, leave our bikes outside at night, and know that they were going to be there the following day. Very close knit. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody's mom and daddy knew everybody. So if you were doing something wrong in these streets, anybody could get you.
Amen.
But it was a great way to grow up. You look down the street, there was a cow pasture and cornfields. But you could also walk to the corner store and go get a pickle and some candy and know you were okay. But we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We lived there for 11 years in Alabama.
Okay, so you leave Alabama and you head to Memphis.
Very different.
Yeah, definitely. You weren't hanging out on Beale Street back in them days, was you?
There's no evidence that I was hanging out on Beale Street.
Okay.
Yeah, so we moved to Memphis when I was 13. My stepfather, his father was sick, and so we moved there so that we could take care of him.
Sure.
Memphis was a culture shock.
I bet.
It was definitely a culture shock. It is a chocolate city.
No question.
So moving from Alabama and a military town, so in a military town, it's very mixed culturally because you have people from all walks of life.
Sure.
Predominantly white, being that we were in Alabama, but I was used to seeing everybody and being around everybody. Moved to Memphis, it is very black and white, mostly black. And one of the funny things is when we first moved there, my mom said that I said, wow, there's so many black people. And she didn't realize that I had not ever been immersed around that many at one time. It wasn't even like nothing wrong with it. I actually was like, wow, like it's so many of us, it's so many different walks of life, so many different professions. I was in awe and amazed, but it was definitely different. And moving there, Memphis was probably more black and white than any other city I'd ever been in.
Sure.
You would almost think that it was still segregated in a sense because just people didn't intermingle. And even going there when I was 13, so middle school, 8th grade, and I'm used to, again, having friends of all different walks of life, all different colors, races, religions, and so I'm just gravitating to everybody. And having the students ask me, well, why are you sitting with them? I'm like, well, why not?
Right.
What's wrong with them?
Right.
Also because I'm multiracial, my father, he's Japanese and Filipino, and my mother is black, getting the question, what are you? Well, I'm human.
Right.
what are you?
Right.
Or what are you mixed with? I'm pretty sweet, but I'm not a cake.
Right.
I'm like, are you trying to ask me what's my ethnicity?
Right.
But it really was. It was a culture shock, a language shock too. So Memphis has its own vernacular. There's its own way of saying words. But Memphis, for me, was amazing. I know it gets a bad rap of being a violent city, not safe, that it's not growing, that people aren't educated. That's far from the truth.
Sure.
Far from the truth. There's so much history and culture there.
Definitely.
But if you don't know how to immerse yourself in it and understand it, it could be off-putting.
Right.
But Memphis, I never got hurt in Memphis. I never got robbed in Memphis, but I also was where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there. As with anywhere, there's crime everywhere. There's poverty everywhere. If you're doing the things you're supposed to do and you're where you're supposed to be, you'll be okay.
Right. Well, there's a place there. I know the barbecue on Beale Street's delicious. I've eaten it several times. But there's a place there called Flying Fish that I was first introduced to in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Little Rock, as a matter of fact. And man, they got some fish, seafood in there that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten there?
I've eaten everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm glad it's closer to Rome than Little Rock.
Yeah.
So but Little Rock's just right there across the river. But anyway, that's great. So you get to Memphis. I guess that's where you became a mom.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 great kids. I know your husband quite well. Great guy. Y'all relocated to Rome, Georgia. First of all, I'm assuming the job is what got you here to Rome. But did you know anything about Rome, Georgia, and how did y'all navigate that move, having 2 kids coming here?
So I didn't know what a Rome, Georgia was before it was presented to me. So in my previous position, I was asked, "Hey, would you be interested in going out into a facility?" So I worked at our corporate offices in Memphis, and I was crazy enough to raise my hand and say, "Absolutely, pick me and my little small family up in the middle of a school year, and we will move to Rome, Georgia." What I thought Rome, Georgia was and what I have found Rome, Georgia to be are 2 very different things.
Sure.
So again, I'm like, okay, Rome, Georgia, I'm looking at the population, I'm looking at the demographics, I'm like, okay, this open carry state, like how am I going to protect me and my little family? How am I going to make sure that we integrate well into this city? And we actually came down here seamlessly. So my company did a great job of moving us, but I also have a strong team of mentors around me within my company that I ask, how do I make sure that everybody transitions well? How do I make sure that my kids are okay, that my husband's okay?
Wow.
But the one thing that I was certain that I wasn't going to be is anxious about coming. So we prayed about it. We talked about it as a family. We talked to other families within my company that had actually lived in Rome who could give us some insight about the area, the community, and everything worked out as it was supposed to. My husband at the time was working remotely, and so he was able to just transition smoothly to come to Rome, but it also made him the primary parent. So I went from working hybridly to having to be in a facility 5 days a week, and he went from working in a facility and kind of hybridly to now he's solely remotely and is the primary parent. That was tough, right? Yeah. It's tough. We assume that we know what our spouse handles until we have to handle it. Sure. But no, we've integrated well. We love Rome. I've even been asked before, would I consider leaving Rome, and I'm gonna have Rome as long as Rome has me.
Exactly. So. Well, that's awesome here. I know your family. I know your kids. Y'all are a great, tremendous young couple, and y'all doing a tremendous job. And I just have so much respect for the way y'all carry yourselves and the things you do. Just so important.
Thank
and I
you.
appreciate y'all being here and being friends of mine. That means a lot. So you're in human resources. Now human resources are viewed as one of 2 things. Man, some people hate y'all.
A lot.
Some people like y'all. What actually got you into to that profession? What attracted you to it?
I must have been crazy.
Come on, Miss Thompson, it ain't that bad.
HR has what a lot of people don't know is HR has so many facets.
Sure.
There are so many different legs of HR, but I've always had an affinity for doing the right things, treating people well, and knowing the rules to be able to play the game.
Right.
That's what HR is. We do get a bad rap. A lot of people are like, HR is just there to protect the company. Well, yeah, don't we all work for this company?
Yeah.
Doesn't it need to be protected?
Amen.
However, I am literally human resources, a resource for the humans who work at my facility and within the company.
Right.
So yes, do I explain risk to upper management and upper leadership? Absolutely. But I'm not the decision maker.
Sure.
Do I explain how to play the game to people who might not know or might not be educated on it? Absolutely.
Right.
I'm going to let you know, hey, here are your rights. Here are your resources.
Sure.
Here's what you can do. Here's how you can get better. That's my job. And so I used to say in the beginning, I said it's because I like people. I don't like people.
You don't like people?
I don't like people, but I love people.
I understand.
I have a heart for people, and I want to see people do the best. I want to see people develop. I want everybody to win.
Sure.
There's enough room at the top for everybody to be there.
No question.
So if I can make a small impact in that, I'll do it.
And I think in your position and your profession, I think there are people that are in this profession that lack that sensitivity and that understanding that, you know, because you have power, you don't have to use it negatively. Obviously, there's got to be tough decisions
Absolutely.
made. You got to do certain things that's going to offend some people. Some people are going to like it. But I just think your honor and wanting to help and make a difference is what, you know, you're all about, and that's what I'm all about. And that's why I wanted you to be here today to share some things with people. Okay, so you work, you know, you're the business partner of the International Paper, which is a really popular place here to work. And I think off camera we were talking about jobs, and you were saying nobody leaves there, which that is a good thing for the company because you get consistency, you get people that's bought in and probably doing a really good job because they want to stay there. What's the best way to get there? What would you advise somebody that has interest in coming to International Paper to get a job right now when y'all, I think you said y'all hired 12 people last year?
Yep, so 10 people.
10 people. So what would be a good way of getting in there?
So
to start with
is put your name in the hat.
Sure.
Which there are a couple different ways you can do that. You can set up email alerts for when we have positions come open, because we don't always have positions come open. But you can go to our website, and specifically for Rome, you can have email alerts so that you're one of the first people who's notified when we open up a job.
Okay.
We don't typically leave our jobs up very long.
Sure.
Usually 7 to 14 days is about the time span that we will leave a job open before we start going through and reviewing the candidates. So put your name in the hat is the first thing. Second thing, have a resume. An up-to-date resume that really is a reflection of you. The way that I tell our candidates is your resume is a person on a piece of paper. Let it speak for you.
Sure.
You know, don't just put 2 words on there as far as your experience. Let it speak for you. Let it be your advocate. Also, don't send me a 12-page resume either. I'm not gonna read all 12 pages.
Right.
And although, and I get it, some people do like to put all of their work history on there. I really need to know what's relevant for the position that you're applying for. So, you know, put your name in the hat, have a resume. And lastly, don't give up. So we had an exponential amount of applicants for our last round of production hiring that we were doing. Not everybody gets chosen, right?
Sure.
So we essentially selected 1% of who applied to the position. Keep trying. I have a lot of people who have tried 5, 6 times to even get their name in the hat, to get in the room.
Sure.
And even they get in the room and they're not selected because it just doesn't meet our need at the time. Keep trying. If this is somewhere that you really want to come to help you make a living to live, keep trying. Don't give up.
That's great advice. So I couldn't come by and just fill out an application and get an interview.
You could come by, you will be turned away. You probably will not make it past the guard check.
Okay.
But in that same vein, we don't actually have paper applications.
I know. I'm talking about the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's hilarious. So, you know, you go to work. What does a typical day look like for somebody in your profession that you could explain to people out there that might be interested in becoming, you know, a business partner HR one day?
I wish there was a typical day.
Oh, really?
You know, a lot of times I'll start out with the calendar of what I think I'm going to do that day. But my priorities change as the moment changes.
Really?
If somebody gets hurt, everything's off the table. I have to go make sure that person is whole and healthy and is able to come back to work okay.
Sure.
I have to make sure that their department, the people that they work beside, are okay.
Sure.
You know, if we have a big financial question.
Sure.
Okay, well, my priorities changed. Let me go find these numbers. But, you know, I do a lot. So as a business partner, we're kind of jacks of all trades. So we can work with benefits and payroll. We work with attendance. We uphold our attendance policy. We might have new hires that we have to do onboarding. We might have strategic deployment that we need to do with our leadership, developmental classes that we do to help our leaders know how to talk to people.
Sure.
Engagement activities that we go out into the facility and make sure that, hey, we want you all to know you're doing a great job. I can't feed my family if this paper ain't made.
That's right.
And I can't make it.
Right.
So,
Right.
So those are just some of the hats. Recruiting. We're visiting colleges. We're visiting CCAs, high schools, to kind of build talent for the future. We do career fairs to let people know, because sometimes international paper can be a well-kept secret, even though in Rome it's well known, but it can be a well-kept secret. Explaining to people, hey, those log trucks that you see, they're coming to see us.
Sure. That's interesting. So I don't think there's never a boring day. Like, it's
Ever.
not boring. So
No.
It's always something going on. That's got to make the days go by and the time go by.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
So that makes the job exciting. So, so let's get a little bit into hiring and recruitment. What qualities that make a candidate stand out during the hiring process? I mean, I know you say y'all might get 1,200 applications. There's only going to be 1% of those. What's on a candidate's resume that stands out?
So when we look at resumes, whether it's for hourly positions or salary positions, we're looking at relevant experience. So if you're applying for a production job, I need to see that you've worked in a production environment before, or even an industrial environment or something closely related. Farming is one that we usually take a second look at because that's hard work. They're out, it's hot, it's dirty. If you're dealing with animals or chickens especially, it's stinky. Which we hold all of those things at our facility too. If it's a specialized salary position, what experience do you have there? If it's environmental, have you dealt with wastewater and air treatment? Have you dealt with that in a industrial environment as well? So relevant experience.
Sure.
And then the other thing that we're looking at is your time and positions in these places. So if you've gone to a different job every year, I'm gonna question your commitment. I'm not saying you won't be considered or qualified, but that will be one of the questions that I ask is, why did you move around so much? If it's, hey, my wife was in the military and we had to go to she was stationed in different places. Totally understand.
Sure.
But if it was, I didn't like my managers.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you're gonna like these either.
Right.
So relevant experience and then time and position.
Okay. What's some of the biggest mistakes that applicants make when they're trying to get on there?
The first one is not having a resume at all. If you don't have a resume, all I have really in our system is your name and your contact information, and that you're interested. I know nothing else about you to go forward, so I can't make really a good decision.
So you do have a lot of people that don't send a resume?
We do.
Really?
We do. And I know sometimes it seems redundant because somebody might say, but I just put in my employment history.
Sure.
I get it.
Right.
But I still need to see your resume. I need to see who you are on this piece of paper. That's one of the mistakes that people make. And then another is applying for everything. So
I really want to work there. I want a job. I want to work. I don't care what it is.
I understand.
That's a turnoff.
It is.
Really?
So if you've applied for production, maintenance, environmental engineer, and CEO, I don't know what to consider you for, and I don't know what you're really serious about.
But what if you apply for all those and you have seasoned experience in all those areas? How does that
That's
look?
a unicorn. that's unicorn.
So if you got all that, you might get hired tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You hear that? That makes sense. So I know. What about cover letters? What are the importance of those now?
They're not.
They're not important. It's just something that make it look sexy.
Full transparency. I'm not reading your cover letter.
Really?
I'm reading your resume. So if I have 1,200 applications, I'm going straight to the resume. I'm going straight to the meat of it all. Cover letters essentially say the same thing that the resume
That's in the
says.
resume.
So just give me your resume. It's nice. It's a nice to have. It shows that, hey, you put a little bit of extra effort into it, a little bit of extra discretionary effort. But it's not the end all.
But is that something that's used across HR people across the board in different professions, or is that just yours personal? Because are there people out there that do want a cover letter?
It depends.
If it's a different company.
It depends. Now, if whether it's International Paper or any other organization, if they specifically say that a cover letter is required, submit that cover letter. It's not required for us.
Okay. What should you never say in an interview?
So, never ask when you can start. That's not a question that we look forward to.
I want to start tomorrow. That don't make me look good.
It does not.
Really?
It does not. It is a question that we get all the time, but it's like that's really not relevant to this position or or what you're trying to do. However, a good question to ask is, why is this position open? Why is this available? Because then that gives an opportunity for the people on the other side of the table to answer it for you. So, and then not being, I don't want to say friendly, but not being personable in your interview, it doesn't help at all, because you're trying to sell yourself to us, and we're also trying to sell ourselves to you as well. So you can usually do that easier in a friendly playing ground.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Have a good attitude.
I feel you. Okay. So I come in now and I get an interview. Okay. I'm all excited.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. Because a lot of people don't get interviews.
That's very true.
How should I? Okay, y'all ain't called me in 2 weeks. I need a job.
Yeah.
And I want your job really bad. Yeah. How should I follow up with you professionally without looking? I don't know what you don't want to look like, because it's been so long since I've been in the job market. But how do you want to follow up if you just because I always thought, well, if they ain't calling me, they don't really want me.
Which is untrue.
Okay.
That's untrue, because a lot of times the hiring process in itself can take a long time. So if we have 40, 50 people that we're interviewing for this position, it's going to take some time to get that. We try to be transparent and say, hey, we're interviewing additional candidates. Our timeline looks like this. Don't get scared. We're not ghosting you. If you haven't heard from us, we're not ghosting you, and you will hear either way. You'll hear from us if you did get it, or even if you didn't. As far as follow-up, I know back in the day it used to be you call and you say, hey, I want to check on the status of my application. Yeah. It's not really going to get you anywhere. Just full transparency, it's not really going to get you anywhere.
Man, things done changed,
Things have changed exponentially. But for me, things that go a long way is that email, that discretionary effort of an email that you send to me that's not obligating me, to respond immediately or give you an immediate response. We're saying, hey, I appreciate your time, and regardless of if I get it or not, I appreciate being considered.
Yeah.
That'll probably get your name notched up.
Okay. Did you hear
and
that?
Don't email me 10 times.
Okay. So you just want one?
Just one.
Yeah. What about a backup email just for insurance?
I'll accept a backup email if additional time has gone by. Don't email me one day and then the next week email me again.
Okay. Keep that in mind, right? So when you're in an interview with a client or somebody that's a potential person, what are some of the questions that are important questions that you ask and that people out there need to be prepared to answer when they sit down in the interview?
Yeah, so one of the first questions that I ask is, do you know what you applied for? Are you aware?
So you have people that come in there that don't know what they...
We have people who read the job description, which is fine, but they might not really understand, especially for production. We're asking you to work a 12-hour shift, rotating shift, so days and nights, in a very hot, stinky, smelly, dangerous environment. Do you understand that? Because if you like things to be clean, it's not going to be the one for you. If you like just a consistent schedule, it's not going to be the one for you. But do you really understand what you're applying for? We're also a unionized facility, which a lot of people haven't worked in union facilities. And so explaining this is what progression looks like in a unionized facility. We have a contract that we live by. So we ask that question, and we also ask, why do you want to work here? You know, do you know people who work here? Which we've gotten honest answers. I've had people who say, hey, my cousin works there and he's able to take great care of his family.
Sure.
And I want to be able to do the same. That's a pretty great reason because you seem pretty motivated to want to be here. You know, and then what are you looking to get out of this job? You know, what are you looking to be? I don't necessarily need to know your 5-year plan or your 10-year plan, but how do you want to come and contribute to the success of this facility?
Okay. Workplace success. Let's talk about that a little bit. When you get a job there or anywhere, when you get a job, what separates an average employee from an excellent employee? What's the separation?
So I've said it a couple times, but I'll really pin it here. That discretionary effort, doing the extra thing, asking the extra question, being curious, being easily coachable as well, and having a great attitude. But a lot of times it's not the one who just does the bare minimum. You know, I come to work, I do my job, I go home. But do you come to work and really find out about your people and learn about the why part of your job? Are you helpful? Are you personable? Are you kind to people? Or are you just coming in here grumpy, you know, and going home? So discretionary effort. And I know a lot of times people are like, well, I'm not being paid for that. Not in dollars. But you're getting paid in equity. It is going to build on itself, and then you're going to be the one when promotions come that your name's going to come up.
And you know, I got a group of questions because I think our young people, this information is very important because a lot of times, you know, we tend to, you know, I think young people sometimes can be impatient, and not just young people, but anybody across the board, people in general. So I don't want to call them out like that, but impatience, rudeness, a lot of things that can hurt, you know, once you get a job, being able to maintain the job. What are some soft skills that employers are looking for now?
So knowing how to have a conversation with people. COVID really did a number on our young people specifically, and even on other people in our workforce because it separated us. So people don't know how to have a conversation with anybody anymore. They don't know how to say in love and in truth, hey, that bothered me, or hey, can we work on this? Can we fix this together? And a lot of times people just get offended. In my role as HR, people will bring things to me because they want me to have the conversation, and I have to remind them, you're capable. I'm happy to be there as a support, but I won't be having the conversation for you. We can have the conversation together. So that's probably the most important is knowing how to speak to people, and understanding people are going to have their own opinion. People are going to, you know, communicate in different ways, but you got to know how to communicate. You have to know how to talk to people. That's very important. And that's in life in general. You know, that helps you a lot. Emotional intelligence is big to me because I think sometimes, you know, a lot of times people lack that emotional control. How do y'all deal with that in the workplace, and how important? Tell our young viewers how important that is. It's extremely important. One, it's important to know how to identify and name an emotion, so then you can know what to do with it. Anger's not bad. But when you act irrationally with anger, it can become bad. You know, you can use that anger and turn it into passion. Or is it really anger? Are you just disappointed? Maybe. And you don't know how to direct it? But knowing how to identify and name it is probably the most important part of emotional intelligence.
I got you.
And then it also helps with the empathy of understanding other people's emotions. You know, sometimes you have to be that quiet calm in the room. Even if you're boiling on the inside, you have to be the one to say, you know what? Let me quell this fire. We work in a highly stressful environment at my facility. If something goes wrong, everybody's up in arms. But if you're the one who's like, okay, let's step back. I understand how everybody feels. Let's move forward. You can get people on board, give people the space to feel how they feel,
Right.
but also help encourage them to move forward with it. Not get stuck in it.
I think, I'm a person that always have tried to build a positive professional relationship with my bosses and my supervisor. I think sometimes that you want to make sure that don't look like, I'm going to say what it is, brown nosing.
Yeah.
But I do think it's important. I want to be trusted.
Yeah.
I want people to understand that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, irregardless. Because, let's face it, in the workplace, there are backstabbers. There are people that go around and try to create environments where people look at you. I call it triangulation, where people try to get people to view you a certain way. But I always know that if your actions are consistent, then you'll be it'll show who you really are. Okay. So I got the job. I done came and passed the interview. Y'all called me. I'm working now. This $25 an hour, $30 an hour ain't cutting.
Okay.
I need a raise.
Okay.
So how am I gonna come in there and ask for a promotion or a raise and do it the right way?
Yeah.
How can you navigate through that?
There is a right way to do it.
Okay, I'm sure.
So one, the wrong way to do it, I'll start with that, is bringing in a comparison of somebody else's. Don't bring me somebody else's salary and say, why am I not making that?
Right.
Why are you not making that?
Right.
Is going to be my question. However, the right way to do it is to document and advocate for yourself the things that you're doing. You know how we talked about discretionary effort earlier? What are those things that you were doing outside of your job description, outside of your role, that were still adding value to the company? If you can make that case, we can have a conversation.
Sure.
But don't come in with entitlement that it's owed, but also know your worth.
Sure.
And if money is not what you walk out of that room with, you at least need to walk out with a plan for your development. How do you get to it, and what are the steps that you need to take to be able to gain it?
And go in there with the correct tone.
Oh yeah.
And carry yourself. And then if you don't get what you get, what you want rather, you need to maintain a positive attitude and work and do the things that can get you to that.
Absolutely.
Because if you do anything else, it could work against you.
It absolutely can
definitely,
and will.
Definitely. From a personal perspective, what's the most rewarding part of working in HR and being a business partner at Inland?
Yeah, so for me, it's seeing the impact that I can make. I've had people who I call and I say, hey, I want to congratulate you. We want to welcome you home to International Paper. And, actually understanding I'm making a difference for their family. I'm making a difference in their lifestyle. I'm helping them progress or develop. I'm helping them get a new lease on life. That to me is so rewarding.
Sure.
It's so rewarding. Also, the other most rewarding part, my people trust me.
Sure.
They trust me.
Sure.
And I'm not perfect. I mess up all the time. I forget stuff. I have 9 million sticky notes on my desk because the person in front of me is the most important person. But they trust me.
Yes.
They trust that I mean them well. They trust that I will find them an answer, good, bad, or ugly. But I'll find an answer for them if they bring a question. They trust me with their pay. They trust me being able to help them take care of their families and have a livelihood. And so my hope is that I can continue to make that positive impact. Sure. Bad things happen. Sometimes people, it ain't the bus for them. And even in those situations, my hope is that I'm helping you get to the next best place that you need to be.
Sure. Wow. And I just think that, man, when you're talking with people about your career, your job, your pay, so many important factors that are incorporated into what you do, honor means so much.
Absolutely.
And not judging people and just being honorable regardless if they're the lowest person on the pay scale or the highest person. I think everybody deserves some honor and to be treated the right way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you have that attitude about it. What's the best career advice you've ever gotten?
I've been working a long time, Coach.
I know.
I've been working since I was 14.
Oh, wow.
The best career advice that I ever got was learn how to advocate for yourself, respectfully.
Yeah.
To learn how to advocate for yourself. That way, people understand clearly what you're trying to do. But then the next best thing is let your character speak for you.
Sure.
Your character is going to walk in the room before you do.
Sure.
Your character is going to stay in the room after you leave.
Amen.
So you make sure that you're doing the things that you said you're going to do and do them well.
Sure.
But good, bad, or ugly, just do the next right thing.
Wow. That's great advice, especially for our young people.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Got a lightning round for you here.
Okay, oh Lord.
Real short, but a lightning round. Resume or LinkedIn profile?
Both.
So it don't matter. Both of them are as effective.
Yeah, as effective. LinkedIn, not everybody has a LinkedIn that's completely built out. Matters of fact, my facility manager, he was making fun of me because I think I only have 400 connections on LinkedIn and he had like 13,000. And I was like, but I have some really important connections.
There you go. There you go.
But LinkedIn is just another way to be able to see what people are interested in, but also have a resume.
Okay, good. Remote, hybrid, or in the office?
Depends on the week for me, but honestly, having worked in both. So when COVID happened, I had to work remotely and then come into Rome, had to be in a facility. I missed people. I know I said earlier I didn't like people, but I love them and I missed being around people. You can really get some work done and build relationships better in person.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I love people, and people that want to act right. I struggle with foolishness.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's the best interview advice you could give in one sentence?
In one sentence, it'll probably be a compound sentence.
Okay.
So when you are interviewing, have a great attitude, be curious, be personable, but also please have a question at the end of the interview. Any question. Just don't leave it open-ended. Let that be your last hoorah of letting the other side of the table speak back to you.
That's powerful.
Have a question.
That's powerful. Ms. Thompson, I want you to look in that camera, and if you could leave our listeners with one piece of career advice that would help them for the rest of their lives, me included, what would it be?
It goes back to the character. No matter what field you're in, what profession you're in, let your character speak for you. Let your character advocate for you in rooms that you're not in. Let your character be the last thing that people understand about you. Have great character, do the things that you say you're going to do, and just do the next right thing.
Wow. Man, I really appreciate it. This has been powerful, great information for people out there. There you have it. Life Unscripted with authentic conversation. The lovely Miss Stephanie Thompson has laid it out for you very authentically, by the way. Senior HR business partner with International Paper. This show will air August the 22nd. Okay, August the 22nd. You can see this show on Charles Smith's Facebook page. You can see it on Instagram at his Bull, B-U-L-L, _dog, that's spelled D-A-W-G, 1980. Shout out to those University of Georgia 1980 national champions. You can also see this at Charles E. Smith Jr. Life Unscripted YouTube channel, on YouTube. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you on our next show. Blessings. Life Unscripted with authentic conversation.